The Quiet Grind Chronicles. Run 1. Crisis, Treasure, and Collapse. Prologue. The air is sharp, carrying the scent of pine and damp earth. I emerge into a mixed biome, a nervous collection of forest and plains, and the first action is always the same. Instinctual, desperate. I strike the wood, the splintering sound echoing in the silence. Here, in the hardcore world, there are no second chances, no respawns, only the raw, relentless promise of the quiet grind. My name fades in importance. I am only the player, the vessel for this singular, high-stakes attempt at survival. Chapter 1. The First Breath. The sun begins its arc, granting me a precious window. My first steps are swift, prioritizing safety. I locate a modest hill, offering decent elevation and a natural recess, the perfect spot for the humble new home. Dirt walls rise quickly, secured by fear and necessity. I dig around not just to mine, but to hide, creating the initial bunker that will serve as the first heartbeat of this run. Making the most of my first night, I work meticulously, but in the days that follow I find an even better spot below the cliff nearby. A gorgeous mountainside already sunk in by stone. I begin making a new home there and then carve out space for a magnificent glass overlook, securing a wide panoramic view. From this window, I can track the tree lines and, most importantly, the open field leading to the water where strange, geometric patterns in the sand hint at deep secrets. The goal is not just to survive, but thrive. Journal entry, Day 1. The fear is not of the dark, but of the empty inventory. I have seen enough runs fail to know that the greatest enemy isn't the skeleton archer, but the mismanagement of the first 12 hours. I possess wood and stone, but already the shadows stretch long. The inevitable coal crisis is upon me. I cannot light the base. I cannot smelt the iron I desperately need for a shield. Tonight, survival relies purely on the strength of stone and the sharpness of my pickaxe. I pray the furnace flickers long enough to cook the sparse meat I was able to find. Chapter 2. The Flicker and the Stare. Another night descends, cold and loud. The sounds outside are terrifyingly clear. The guttural moans of zombies, the dry rattle of bone. I am plunged into the coal crisis. My meager reserves vanish, and the base, once a sanctuary, becomes a concrete tomb of shadows. I am forced to tunnel deeper into the mountain, a risky venture without adequate light. I dig, while carefully listening, straining to differentiate the noise of falling gravel from the approaching shuffle of an enemy. The grind must continue. Thankfully, I am able to find a nearby cache of copper on the cliff's edge just below my first dirt home. Initially, I used the wrong tool to collect it, but thankfully I got smart quick and leveraged a stone pickaxe to finish the job. Copper armor is a huge upgrade that I am always happy to receive. One creepy night while working in my new home in the mountain's edge, I turned back toward the main door, and there, perfectly framed, was a creeper. Not moving, simply staring. Its eyes were empty, fixed directly on my light source. In the raw silence of the hardcore world, the lack of sound is the loudest warning. The creature is close enough to be a fatal mistake, a single hiss away from destroying the run. I dropped what I was holding and scrambled backward. Took me a while to compose myself. I waited, breathing shallowly, listening to the muffled, slow shuffle of the thing on the other side. This is the truth of hardcore. Safety is an illusion, and the game-ending moment is always creeping around where you least expect it. Chapter 3. The Gambit. Days 3 and 4 bring cautious progress. With copper secured, armor is donned, and the base is slowly illuminated. But to truly stabilize the run, I need more than just defense. I need the jumpstart that only powerful gear can provide. I remember the glass overlook and the strange geometric patterns in the field by the water. I plan the journey meticulously. I pack the necessary blocks and a fresh sword. This is the gamble, to leave the established security for a massive treasure find. The journey is tense. The sunlight feels fragile. I run across the open field and into the water towards my destination. The moment the treasure chest reveals itself, containing special tools and key resources, the tension briefly snaps. The haul is substantial. This run one, might actually make it. Journal entry, Day 4. I am back inside. It was a stupid, necessary risk. The treasure is secured, and my blood still feels thin. The arrogance that sinks most hardcore runs is whispering in my ear. You're safe now. You're prepared. I silence it. I remember the creeper at the door. Preparation only mitigates. It never guarantees. The world is waiting for the next mistake. Chapter 4, The Trap. The success of the treasure buys a few more hours. The universe, or perhaps the game engine, decides my time is up. I venture down to the water's edge across the field, needing simple sand for the expansion of the glass overlook. I scoop the final block, and the calm is violently shattered. From behind me, the muffled, wet sound of a creeper explosion rattles my bones. I whirl around. The blast hits me, tearing through my health hearts. The creeper, having successfully ambushed me from an unseen angle, is gone. I am left barely alive and severely injured. I heal up a bit and thankfully plunge back into the water, scrambling up the riverbank towards the open field, eager to get home to my mountain base. But the world always anticipates the retreat. From just below a tree, a skeleton archer has waited. His bowstring twangs, loud and clear. The first arrow hits my back, sinking the last of my protection. I try to turn around to engage it and defeat it where it stands, but without a shield and with my luck running out, the archer lands 2 rapid, luck-fueled critical hits. My heart, which had just begun to recover a flicker of health, is silenced. The damage is instantaneous. The sheer force of the final arrow rips through the last of my life force. The momentum of my desperate run carries me forward one last step before I collapse at the foot of the mountain I had called home. So close, yet so utterly far. Epilogue. The screen fades to black. Then the final, brutal certainty, game over. The run, the mountain home with the beautiful glass plans, the successful treasure hunt. All reduced to one final fate-filled moment. The silence that follows is absolute. The grind of Run 1 has ended. The lesson is immediate and final. Survival is not about success. It is about the will to continue and the drive to avoid mistakes. Surviving the creeper ambush meant nothing when I failed to anticipate the distant threat waiting to capitalize on my panicked retreat. It all ends with a terrifying, precise arrow. The coal crisis, the treasure gamble, the stare, they were all leading to this moment. The world tests my commitment, and if I falter, it takes everything. This death is hard, but it is necessary. It is the foundation. I carry the ghosts of the creeper apocalypse and the skeleton's perfect shot with me for my future adventures. Run 1 might be over, but the next run awaits. The quiet grind must continue.